Here you go. Folks, welcome to your week. It's a brand new week. Every 2 weeks, we get to talk to her, one of our favorite hosts, and she is now in like the month and a half countdown to her wedding. And we talked about this last time, and she said, "Oh, nobody wants to hear about my wedding." And then I got a bunch of comments of like, "I do want to hear about Sophie's wedding." So I guess I have to ask about Sophie's wedding. The one, the only Sophie Ross with our pop culture roundup. Welcome back to the show, Sophie.
Hi. Hello.
Well,
I have a fancy new mic. So like if
yeah,
my
it
sound
sounds
is
really
better,
good.
if my vocal fry is crispier, that's why. But I do have like a wedding update that's Bravo related, and Ryan knows what I'm about to say.
Oh,
So
this is good, actually.
as you guys probably know, I'm getting married in Charleston. Ba-ba-doo!
Papa
And
dee dee dee.
And we like don't know where we're having an after party, if we're having an after party. Like I feel like we need to, because the reception ends at like 11. I'm like, no one's gonna want to go to sleep, like whatever. So I was like looking into after party venues, obviously looked into Republic, aka Leva's,
Which is
Leva's
Leva's place. Southern Hospitality takes place at
Southern
Republic.
Hospitality. And so I inquired not about even like renting out the whole place, like literally just like a section, like a private little section. They quoted me $40,000. And I texted Ryan. Ryan was like, this has to be a joke. And I was like, it unfortunately isn't.
Okay, guys, on a good night, a bar makes $40,000. There's no way. So I reached out to a couple of my friends that actually live in Charleston to try to make some heads or tails on this, because there is just no how. If you're making $40,000 for a booth, that Leva doesn't need to be on television. There's no, I mean, they have enough money for the rest of their lives if they're charging $40,000 for a booth at Republic. There's no way. And by the way, what a weird person to mess with. We talk about Bravo all the time. I mean, I feel like we just show up and just demand to be seated.
Like, do you know who I am?
Yeah.
I guess not. I guess not. Honestly, like, I know that sounds fake. It's not. I sent Ryan screenshots. I swear it's not fake. And you know what's funny is that I had my sister's bachelorette there, and we like did a section there for her bachelorette back in 2021. It was obviously not $40,000. Like, I don't know. I think anything with the word wedding attached to it, like my wedding after party, they can upcharge. I don't know.
What if you say like, you should like say funeral? Like we're hosting a funeral or like some kind of something, or just we're looking to have like a get together.
We're having the wake. Can we have your wake?
Yeah, can we show a body at the at your? Will Republic set up fancy lights for a showing of a body?
It's gonna be open cask. Is that cool?
Yeah. Who's gonna be spinning sick DJ beats over the showing of the body? I mean, that really is truly ridiculous. And like, I mean, I know Charleston's like a happening town, but how is it more expensive than New York City prices?
Right. Like, I don't know.
Guys, if anybody out there is listening that can actually help Sophie or me out with this, there's got to be Shep. If you're listening right now, I was going to reach out to you actually anyways to see if I could get some party favors for that night, Shep. So if you can help us with the Republic, it would be great.
Please, we need you. We need you.
Would you be willing to film this for Southern Hospitality? Like get into an argument with the staff about $40,000? It could be a storyline.
Oh my God. Honestly, yeah. Honestly, like if they could take some of that, if I could get comped some of it for like appearing as a storyline, absolutely.
Also, I do want to say that before we started, it's Sunday, and I guess football season is. We do this thing every year with the football thing, and so
yeah.
You know, she's a sports guy, and she loves this Joe Burrow. Who the only reason I know Joe Burrow is because of Sophie, and he's a quarterback for the Bengals, and they're playing the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know the Kansas City Chiefs. If you don't know, has the Taylor Swift boyfriend, this Travis Kelce. They're playing each other, and it's in the fourth quarter. And Sophie goes, "I'm not watching it. I'm too nervous." And she goes, if you getting like push alerts and they're losing, don't let me know. And I'm like, who the fuck do you think I am that I'm getting NFL push alerts?
ESPN notifications.
I get Bravo push. I get the most lame, like I get push alerts saying who's like arriving to the Emmys red carpet. I'm not getting sports alerts.
Like, I know Ryan was
I would.
cute. He was so cute. He was like, "Do you want to wait until after the game? There's like 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter." And I was like, "It's better that I'm not watching because every time I'm not watching, they like do well. And then when I do watch, you guys know this. It's been years now of me talking about the Bengals on here. Like you guys know, I'm like bad luck when I watch, so it's better that I don't." But I was like, yeah.
Do you have other superstitions? Did you like shower today?
Actually, no, I didn't. But no, I'm mainly superstitious about like just being present to watch it. I feel like I was napping earlier and they came out like swinging with like this really, really, really big lead originally. And then as soon as I started watching it, the Chiefs started scoring. And also, by the way, to whatever crazed Taylor Swift stans were listening. I don't know what I said. I don't remember what I said. People were mad about something I said about Taylor, and I do not remember what I said.
On this show?
Yes. A couple weeks ago.
Oh, the only thing I think I remember you saying is that you wish she was no longer on this earth. No, you didn't. I mean, you know what I think you said? You said, I'm not a stan. I like her, but I am no longer a stan.
You know what I said? I was like, I can't name a single song from Tortured Poets Department. And Brian, you're like, whoa, what about Foreclosure? You don't like the song Foreclosure? I was like, are you I'm like,
no, I said Fortnite, not Foreclosure. Like, are you with Post Malone? Are you kidding? The VMAs. She won Video Music Award of the Year.
No,
Sophie.
I know. I'm sorry, I forgot what it was called really fast. But like, you like made up some other like crazy sounding like song name, and I was like, what?
I gotta tell you, I'm so tired. I'm tired of everything. I'm tired of pop culture. I'm tired of like, I mean, you know what? I just want this election to be over with. You know, like I want it to be done. I want to just go back to worrying about like my stupid life. I don't like the Taylor Swift endorsement, waking up to like tweets about I hate Taylor Swift. And I'm like, oh my God, is this Sophie? No, it's it's former President Donald Trump. I'm like, I'm just tired. Like, I just want to go about my stupid life. And we all just like try to like treat each other with some kind of respect. And we're in this like force field of hate for the next month and a half. My God.
I know, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. Yeah. Truly.
It really is. And Taylor Swift, by the way, is at the Chiefs game. And she brought Danielle Haim, like she has to be hanging out with one of the members of Haim anywhere she goes. And I wonder if there's like, is there a lottery? Like, which Haim sister gets to go to the football game, or do they not like? Do certain Haim members not like football, and they're like, "You go, I don't want to go."
It's like a rotation, you know. Wait, I saw a tweet the other day that was like, the Haim sisters are like the perfect level of fame that you want to be because they get to like go to like the suite with Taylor Swift and like go to the Met Gala and all of those things, but then they can just like go to the grocery store and they look like just like normal girls and aren't gonna get recognized.
I've seen the drummer Alana Haim all the time around the area I live in, and I love Haim, but I'm never like, Alana, what up? Like,
Alana, oh my God!
I'm like, oh, it's one of the Haim. Like I see Jay Leno all the time too, and I'm just like Jay Leno. He's always like in so much denim, and I'm never. You just kind of get used to it. Also, if Taylor takes on one of those dinner, like they're always at like some fancy place in New York for dinner, does she have to pick up the check, or does she like Venmo request people like this is your half of the bill, or does she just assume she picks it up?
I'm not okay. Again, like Swifties, like I'm not saying this as a personal attack against Taylor, but I feel like the richest people are the ones that Venmo charge you for dinner. Or they nickel and dime you. It's always the richest friends that you have.
Well, Taylor, but by the way, I have a feeling Taylor brings it up like months later, like, oh, you didn't pay for the fucking focaccia at Via Carota. Where was your fucking money on that, jackass?
He does the reminder thing on Venmo.
Yeah. Just circling back to this, I noticed you had some of the fettuccine that we were splitting, and I know, like, no, I mean, she might be like that, which would be, I would love to know those details about celebrities, like those little things that make them truly like us, you know?
Yeah. I love celeb minutia. I love it.
Yes. Exactly. I mean, so Taylor, of course, that's like a whole interplanetary celebrity right there. I'm a huge Taylor Swift stan, but I just I don't know, man. We're in the football season again. We're gonna see her every week at these games. Like
And you
it's
know what?
everything just feels big.
I think that the Kelce brothers are more oversaturated and
Oh God,
overhyped
yes.
than Taylor Swift at this moment. And I've like said this before, probably on here on Twitter, like they have a new business venture announced every day. And I just
Yeah.
don't care about them. I'm sure I would care more if I was like an Eagles fan because that's who Jason played for. He's retired, but you know what I mean? If I was a Chiefs fan, sure. Travis, sure. I literally don't care about them. Like, why are they everywhere? I will say that, like, I think Travis and Taylor are really cute together. But again,
Yeah.
it's like when my team is playing them, I'm like, you're so annoying. Like, both so annoying. But again, it's like when my team isn't playing them, I'm like, okay, fine. But in general, I feel like the Kelce brothers are way like oversaturated.
They're very overexposed right now. Like, luckily, they seem like kind of nice, normal people, but they're overexposed. Travis Kelce is appearing in Ryan Murphy's new show, Grotesquerie,
Yeah.
which premieres in a couple weeks. Also, he has a part in Happy Gilmore 2, which stars Bad Bunny as well, which is going directly to Netflix. And then he's also hosting Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader on Fox, I believe. So he has like this string of projects that is already happening. And then Jason Kelce, of course, he's a NFL commentator, I believe. He has that venture. They sold their podcast for $100 million deal with Wondery, I believe. So it's kind of insane how all over the map they both are. But the important question is, in terms of the Taylor-Travis relationship, do you think they've gotten to a place where they're comfortable farting in front of each other yet?
I would hope so. I think so, yeah. And like I would hope so. I do not wish that kind of like hell on anyone if you
Yeah.
can't flirt in front of your long-term partner.
Yeah, I mean,
Ryan,
I
like
don't wish I don't
you
wish a
fart in
bunch of
front of
farts on a long-term partner.
you fart in front of Rebecca, right?
I mean, it's all I do. I mean, that poor, like, I mean, it seemed like poor. I mean, like, I wish I didn't have to. I mean, it's legitimately, I mean, this stomach. I mean, I don't know, but I always wonder if there's pressure when you're dating a celebrity where you're like, oh, like I've got something going on and I can't do this in front of my celebrity partner.
Do you think like Timothy and Kylie fart in front of each other yet?
Fuck no. I think if that happened, Kylie would literally like change her name and move to a foreign country. Like there's no way. And by the way, because I feel like if she did, Timothy would leave her. Go like, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up for. You're here to like look. You're my arm candy. You're my like pinup cover girl, and I don't want to think about gas exploding from your behind. This has started off really weird, by the way.
It's also it's also just like I wonder like with Kylie's like long bottom, like if it like reverberates, like if the sound, if it affects
Oh my
the
God.
trajectory, the aerodynamics, like I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and also, do you think Chris kind of like has to like sit each of the daughters down and say, we've sexualized you so much that we can't have you doing certain things like this? Like, I know Kanye might have encouraged Kim to fart around him, but I wonder if there were like certain rules when you are sexualizing your family where it's like, we can't have anything like we can't have you belching in public. We can't have you farting in public. There's got to be those rules, right?
Honestly, probably.
Yes.
Wait, but can we also circle back to Taylor and Travis really fast? Because we didn't talk about do you know what I'm going to say?
No.
They're like the leaked like contract that was like clearly fake, but it was still,
yes.
It still caused a little bit of a stir.
Yeah, what she's referring to, I think we mentioned it a week and a half ago, comments by celebs were on, and we talked about it because it just got out. was that his actual PR company, they like somebody Snapchatted of like, I can't believe Emily left this out on her desk. And it was saying that they were going to break up in late September and all of the minutia around it in regards to how they were going to handle the breakup, saying that they both had mutual respect for each other. But I'm sorry, this is like complete bullshit because there's no way PR companies would just have breakup contracts laying on their desk and then Roger from accounting like gets a quick snapshot of it and post it online. Like everybody would lose their jobs.
It's so stupid.
But we all believe it because we are so stupid. We want to believe these completely fake things. By the way, that's my gift to you guys for your wedding. I'm going to make a fake breakup, a divorce contract for you guys. I'm just going to have AI write it because that'll probably be super easy.
Just so you know, all of our guests have to sign NDAs to enter. So,
is that true? Is that true?
Be ready. Be ready.
What if it's like your wedding's like eyes wide shut when they're all in like masks and stuff? And I'm like, holy shit, what's going on?
Wait, I didn't know it was this intense. There's like paparazzi helicopters like circling.
Oh my God, that would be so. We get the same paparazzi that Heather Dubrow said she didn't call on Real Housewives of Orange County. Like, I would like to fly in the good paparazzi for your wedding.
The ones that like Photoshop the pic, like Splash News, I think is what the Kardashians use too.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of paparazzi, and I just got to say, and this is why I'm saying I'm a little tired of pop culture, is that last week we had a film festival where Jennifer Lopez's new film, I think it's called Unstoppable, that Ben Affleck and Matt Damon were producing, did a premiere at a film festival, and Matt Damon was there, and there was a photo of Matt Damon holding Jennifer Lopez's hand, looking like he was in deep conversation with her, which you could only imagine it was about Ben Affleck and the breakup of the relationship, the marriage. And then this week, these motherfuckers, they're at Beverly Hills Hotel, and we get this string of paparazzi shots where they are, they're hanging out with their kids together. Like all summer, we have not seen them together except for like one or two paparazzi little moments that they had staged. And now all of a sudden after this divorce, and then the rumor was out there that they were like kissing and holding hands during this lunch. Did you hear this?
I love how they wait until after like the divorce announcement to finally do this. Like what's happening? I think they're actually just like meant to be together.
Well, I mean, this is like John Janssen and Shannon Beador. I think what's going to have to happen is like Jennifer Lopez is going to have to like crash her car into a house to force the actual breakup of this relationship because they don't seem to be able to stay away from each other. Like, I feel like we should do a class action lawsuit against this couple because I'm out. Like, there's only so much empathy I can have for you guys are doing it to yourself at this point. And I'm sorry, like, I don't care if all your kids get along. Don't be out there and like go meet at a private house somewhere. Don't be in public together. It's so confusing for us, the audience.
I only have the capacity to care about one Jen Affleck right now.
And thank you. She's obviously talking about Jen Affleck, one of the stars of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. The 8-episode series premiered on Hulu last weekend. And have you gotten through all 8 episodes, Sophie?
7. So I still have the 8th episode. I was so mad that I couldn't finish the 8th episode before we recorded. But
wait, why did you just give up? Like what happened?
No. I just didn't have time. Yeah, I gave up.
Wow. Well, what do you think of the series so far?
I'm obsessed.
It's really good. I mean, at first it's like they all kind of look alike and it's very confusing because Whitney keeps changing her hairstyle and her husband looks different in every single episode he's in. But the first episode is amazing because this Taylor Frankie Paul, at the end of it, she gets like arrested for DV and then it picks up 8 months later. And I got to tell you, like, obviously Taylor Frankie Paul and Whitney are the stars of this season, but the rest of those girls, they've got like some really great stories in there.
It's a great ensemble.
Oh, I mean, it really is a great ensemble. And it's like the fight. Once again, we have this in Real Housewives of Salt Lake City as well, of like the Mormon religion and what an interesting backdrop it is, because these girls, even though they're still proud of their faith, are getting kind of like, you're not a true Mormon, you're soft swinging, or you're doing this. And I thought it was really interesting to have like, because there's lapsed Catholics out there, there's all different religions and like how serious you take the religions. but like Mormon is a very interesting religion because like it's no caffeine, only PG movies. You do the Mormon mission for 2 years. And it's really interesting to see all of these different ways they live their lives where it's okay to like, they're like different soda orders. And the fact that they have like this collective where they're just doing like TikTok dances. I mean, that it's weirdly exciting.
They refer to Mom Talk like it's this like established institution.
Yes.
Like, they're so serious about it. It's crazy. It's
like being on it's like being on SNL. It's like you got called up to the big leagues if you're on Mom Talk. And I hope that they keep adding people I hope they fire people. I hope Mom Talk goes on tour. Like I've talked to four of the girls on the show. And it was really interesting because they had not shown the series to any of the girls yet. They had not seen even the first episode. They got to see it on Friday when it premiered last Friday. Like all of us got to see it. And I reached out to what's her name? The hairdresser, Jessie. Yeah. And she gave me a voice note that I put in the show after she had seen it. And she was like, it was really good. Like, I was kind of shocked. There's like some crazy things. They cut out a lot of stuff, but like overall, like the only person that I think I would be really bummed would be Whitney and the men. The men, like Whitney's husband is horrible. You have Jen Affleck's husband.
Zach Affleck.
Yes. Wait, explain to the people why you brought that up in regards to Ben Affleck and what just kind of got revealed today.
Wait, I may have missed what was revealed today, but I was just watching episode 7 and Zach Affleck, I guess that they are cousins with Ben Affleck. Like his family is related to Ben Affleck's family or no?
Well, okay, here's what Maritza sent me this. This is from Reddit, so take it with a grain of salt. It says Zach is lying about the relation to Ben Affleck. It says Zach's dad, David, and Ben are first cousins. That would mean Gordon, David's dad, Zach's grandfather, and Timothy, Ben's dad, are brothers. Gordon was born in 1941 in Utah. Timothy was born in 1943 in Rhode Island. According to genealogies, Timothy's only sibling is a man named Stephen Affleck. I've gone back like 2 to 3 generations, and Ben Affleck's family has always resided on the East Coast, New York, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. Even Gordon's father, Zach's great-grandfather, was born, raised, and died in Utah, and that man's father came from England. It's just impossible. Just such a strange thing to lie about. I wish Ben would come out and say that they are lying. And then there's an edit here saying, I went back so many generations that unless the direct relation was in like the 1700s, it's not true that Ben and Zach are second cousins, nor Ben and Zach's dad are second cousins. So it looks like that guy's lying.
That's so funny. And also a relief because Zach being as awful as he is, honestly makes me like, it reflects poorly on Ben. Even if they're only distantly related, I'm like, you got to do something about that second cousin of yours. Like, come on. Come on.
Ben's like, it's a really hard time for me right now. I do not need this. I do not need this.
He's like, I don't need another scandal right now.
I know exactly.
He's awful.
Can you imagine?
He's awful. Zach Affleck on the show is awful. And it's making me so nervous for Jen, his wife, when just watching this, what they're saying about him, he clearly is very image conscious and very Mormon and just like they're talking about his potential gambling addiction on camera.
Yes. They go to Vegas, you guys, and there's one where they go to like Thunder from Down Under or some male review, and they don't even fucking. It's like the most PG Vegas trip ever.
Chippendale.
And this guy Zach, we find out, kind of has a little bit of a gambling issue. But then Zach comes down on Jen Affleck and is like, "How dare you do all of this?" Da, 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 da. And then Taylor Frankie Paul's dude Dakota does the same thing. And this is where us guys, we always fuck up, man. We're such losers. We are such losers that we will come down on women, and our own behavior is complete horseshit. Is complete horseshit. Like, how could the men watch this and think that they are in the right? Also, these women of Mom Talk, they are the sole breadwinners in all of their families. They make all the money.
Jen Affleck is literally putting her husband through med school while he's gambling away their money with his addiction, his gambling addiction. But she like gets surprised. She didn't even know they were gonna like go to Chippendales. It ended up being like some sort of surprise, and she left immediately because she was like, I'm uncomfortable. It's gonna make my husband uncomfortable. Like there's nothing else she could have done. And he literally was like, I don't love you anymore. I want a divorce.
You know what, guy? There's like a certain type of guy at that age that really like lives in that area of just wanting women under their thumb in a way of like always making them feel bad for any move that they make. There's no way Jen could ever do anything right. There's no, and that's why I'm kind of glad, even though Taylor Frankie Paul has her own issues, I'm glad that she has not agreed to marry Dakota yet, because Dakota, it seems like they're still, I mean, it all seems like high school relationships, which is interesting because the Mormon religion, I think, kind of encourages that high school relationship because you're not allowed to do anything with you. Like that's where soft swinging and soaking come into play. That's insane.
Exactly. Like there really is something to be said about how these religions that kind of repress you from doing things that are biological needs, like sex. I'm sorry. Like guys, like
making love. Making love.
Like it always it proliferates in different ways because when you're repressed from doing things, like I'm sorry, like freaking like Catholic priests, like it's that's a perfect example. It's like the religions that repress you from doing the biological, like I'm sorry, even not being able to have caffeine, not being able to have coffee is going to make you go to those scary soda shops that they have on the show. That's not normal. That's not natural.
Wait.
But also Dakota, Taylor Frankie Paul's boyfriend and baby daddy, is terrifying. Like he's terrifying, and they're still together.
I think he's terrifying because I got shit saying like, he seems like an all right, like he seems fine, seems like he's really trying. And I was trying to be nice because I'm trying to get Taylor Frankie Paul on the show, and somebody was like, "How dare you say that he's okay?" I'm like, I can't just like. Guys, I already go so far already, but why do you think Dakota's off?
He's terrifying. There's like some like underlying like anger that you can, he's just clearly they're in a toxic cycle.
Yeah.
And he's just terrifying. He's scary. It seems like, and she's said, and they're not even married yet. I honestly hope for her sake they don't end up getting married, even though they have this child together now. Ever True, by the way.
That's the name, Ever True.
That's the name, is Ever True.
Take that, Lala.
Yeah, take that, baby Sosa. But yeah, it's like she's like, I can't do anything right. Like everything I do, it's kind of like that Zach thing where it's just like this controlling, insecure, anger issues, like just I don't know. I get really, really, really dark energy from him, and I don't like him.
Well, and he really like, I mean, because the first episode ends with that, police coming to the house and Taylor had gotten violent with him. And, obviously, they stay together 8 months later, which I found, man, I would have loved for the show to pick up right the next day. But obviously Taylor was waiting to see like, hey, is this something I really
want to do? Wait, you think that's why, or the pilot hadn't been like picked up yet?
No, I know for a fact that Taylor was. No, I know for a fact.
Oh my God, this diva.
I think we talked about that on the episode I did with the girls last week. Was that 8 month period? They had to she had to kind of come to terms if this was going to be good for her, because that's a really scary space to find yourself in, to be drunk and then to get yourself arrested. Like it's a really bad move on top of, she was the face of mom talk and also soft swinging. Like I think we talked about this years ago, Sophie. We talked about it years ago.
Right. Also, like what was probably, I'm not sure how it settled or how it ended up being settled or what the deal is with her ex-husband in custody of their kids, but like that can't be good when it comes.
Yeah, like I'm shocked that we don't know more about her ex-husband in regards to the show,
right?
Like how that initial divorce happened.
I agree. I have a lot of questions about the ex-husband. I'm sure he was like, do not talk about me. Do not talk about our kids. Do not discuss anything about our marriage. Like, I'm sure these were all like, intentional decisions, but like, still, I have a lot of questions about.
But isn't that good though? When you have a lot of questions, because that means like, oh, good, I want a second season.
Yeah, she's like so mysterious. I love Taylor Frankie Paul. I honestly love her.
Oh, I do too. But what do you think the over-under is on Whitney coming back for a second season?
Oh, I mean, the two stars of the show are Whitney and Taylor.
Yeah, but I don't think Whitney will come back because,
you don't think
man,
so?
that's you've got to face a lot of hard truths about yourself. And even if you complain about a bad edit, there's just so many things on top of her husband. There's a whole thing going on there. I mean, guys, I'm a pretty savvy television.
With people thinking that her husband is maybe not to speculate, but like maybe not straight.
Well, even if that wasn't speculated, he's admitted to like cheating. He's admitted to that being habitual since the beginning of their relationship.
And people are speculating also that the reason his appearance looks so different in every episode is because he doesn't want to get recognized from like his grinder photos. But again, pure speculation. But like,
well, and I know we're not supposed to speculate on that stuff. And I don't care what sex. I mean, honestly, I don't care. But I will say, like, as a savvy I consider myself a pretty good watcher of TV. I got so I was like, that's him. I got so confused every time he came on screen because how he was in those first episodes to how he was at the end, he fucking looked like Drake. He had like a full head of hair. He's wearing like the gold chain. I was like, this is not the same fucking guy that I saw in those first episodes. Every time it was different. And that shocked me more than any kind of cheating allegation because I was like, you look vastly different. Yeah. But Whitney just seemed like Whitney pulling that like blocking shit and not showing up to things and not inviting people. It's a very necessary reality show character, but it's a hard thing to pull off when all of us get our eyes on it and we start making TikTok videos about it. I mean, your ego probably like will tell you a lot of lies and say, oh, it's a bad edit, but there's some part of her that's got to know, oh shit, like people don't really like me as a character.
Right.
Do you think so?
My son has RSV.
Oh my gosh. She does this TikTok. She does this TikTok. And by the way, I will say this. She's a great TikTok dancer. Like she's got rhythm. She
has talent. I'll give her that. She does
have talent. But her baby had like this RSV thing in the hospital. And I even remember seeing that TikTok years ago where she was doing this video to explain what was going on at the hospital. And I'm like, you could just tell us. You don't even need the dancing. You don't need the showboating. Like imagine that baby looking up and watching their mom doing like a count off, you know?
Oh my God. It's so funny.
Anyways, you guys, I highly recommend Secret Life. Highly recommend. Okay, where else The Valley season 2, guys. They filmed the finale last night in Hollywood. I think it was at Yamashiro restaurant, which is on top of the hill in Hollywood. And we have some confusion if Jax Taylor, CC Loves You, the Instagram account had some blurry pictures of the filming, and it looked like Jax was in a woman's face, but the woman was blurry. And I was like, is that Brittany? And Brittany responded. Well, and Brittany responded going, that's not me. I don't want to get anywhere near that man. And so she responded to my question. And so it wasn't Brittany. So I don't know who Jax was like getting in the face of, but doggy bark.
Did you hear Baxter? Sorry.
I love that. Don't apologize. Life happened. Are you kidding me?
So cute, you guys. He can't help it.
Wait. Is Baxter going to be in the wedding?
Yeah, he is.
No.
He's going to wear a little tuxedo. It's going to be so cute.
Wait, did you name him Baxter because of Anchorman?
No, honestly, but like everyone says that. And I'm like, oh, I think we just like liked the name. We wanted kind of like an old man name and we just liked it. But everyone's like, oh my God, like Anchorman. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Sure.
Wait, is Baxter going to be the ring bearer?
He's going to walk down the aisle. He's going to be one of the ring bearers. Yeah.
Is he good with direction?
Yeah, he's so good. He's literally perfect. Like he's perfect.
Okay, but if Baxter like pusses out or something like that, is there any way I could be on standby?
Like if you have to be like,
yeah. If I could dress in my furry costume, yeah, I don't need to be me, but if I could, just so you have a backup, just in case Baxter
you
gets
sick, backup Baxter
gets the runs or something. You don't know what's going to happen on the day. Or even at the rehearsal, I could do anyway. It's not about me. Wait. So this is sorry to go back to the wedding, but it's like a black tie. Like I have to go get I have to go rent a tux.
If you have like a nice suit, wear a nice suit.
No, I want to look better than the groom. I want to be one of those guys.
You want to stay.
I want to be those guys. I want to wear white. I want to show up the bride. I want to show up the groom. I want to do the whole, like, how's that bastard wearing white?
You know what's funny? And I feel like you'll appreciate this because you know my mom. And for those listening that don't know my mom, like basically People magazine, there was like this viral stories on People's Instagram, like E-News. It was like mother of the bride gets in trouble for upstaging the bride with her beautiful gown. My mom, it was like a beautiful gown, but I was like, I wouldn't say it's like upstaging the bride. It was beautiful. My mom, she saw that viral story. That's the dress that she got for my wedding. She got the viral upstaging the bride dress for my wedding. So.
I got the dress where they're like, is this blue or black or green and blue? Like, you know, that dress where like, what colors do you see? That's the dress I'm going to wear. I mean, I'm so, and the scary thing is, I don't think me and Rebecca were going to go. I don't think we know anybody except for like, I know Amanda, I know your mom, but I've never met them. So are your friends, are they jerks?
You're still going to have fun. It's so funny because again, I'm sorry for that one commenter or the multiple commenters that don't care about my wedding. We're done after this. I do have Sophie, and I feel like maybe people think this is relatable. How like
we're done when I say we're done. This is exciting.
No, I've worked at like a lot of different jobs and I've had like different chapters of my life, like camp and just like my first job out of college and then like this other job and just like random friends from random chapters of life that don't know anyone else. So I'm excited about that for like the friends that don't know anyone.
We're so excited. We are so.
You won't. And so moral of the story is you're not going to be like the only ones that don't know other people. Like I have so many like different friends from different like pockets and chapters of life. Like it's going to be great. And I'm sure if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't give a fuck. Like I know I'm done. I'm sorry.
Who's making? Well, no, I'm not done. By the way, fuck that. I literally have talked about my mom dying for the last year. I think I can talk about your wedding and it's going to be fine. Like, are you fucking kidding me? People are like, oh, at least he's not talking about his mom dying. The other thing is at the speech, like who's giving the speeches? Like, is it the best man? Because I just kind of picture like, hey, I'd like to say a few words out of nowhere. Like I've always wanted to do that and kind of
my God, Ryan,
really upstage people.
Wait, if you do that, I'd actually be really happy. But yeah, the plan is Henry and I both have like a bestie that are giving speeches. He has a bestie, I have a bestie, and then both of our sisters, our brothers-in-law, and then our parents. And that's gonna be like spread out.
Oh, is your dad gonna do like Kill Tony comedy bits?
Oh my God, stop. He's gonna be like slurring his words by that point in the night because it's gonna be like wedding night. But yeah, some will be on Friday, some will be on Saturday.
Are you gonna do the father-daughter dance?
Yeah.
Oh,
I know. Every time I listen to the song that like I'm dancing with my dad to, I like start crying.
Dude, you should for Baxter, you should give him to Henry and like or no, you like give it to the groomsmen and like it can be like Tom Sandoval when they wiped
and he wiped his
tears. Okay, anyways, back to the Valley. They filmed the finale. So season 2 is in the can. Obviously, Brittany and Jax didn't survive. And I have to tell you, I posted this on my Instagram stories. My buddy lives in North Hollywood, which is, the Valley. And he texted me yesterday. He goes, yo, that Jax dude, I think he works out at, and he said the gym in North Hollywood. I go, well, he does live in the Valley. And he goes, does he have, this is so funny. He said, this is out of nowhere. He goes, hey, does he have tattoos on his forearms, skinny mustache and skinny legs? And I said, sometimes. And he goes, he's wearing a hat, Jax's Saloon. And I said, oh yeah, he just got a rehab a couple of weeks ago. And then he goes, FYI, he doesn't wipe down the equipment after he uses it.
Oh,
yeah.
That is such a signifier. It's kind of like the shopping cart thing where it's like, you don't have to return your shopping cart to where you're supposed to put it. It's just like a nice thing to do as a member of society. Like there's no reward. There's no punishment if you don't. It's just you do it for your fellow man. That Jax, I guarantee
that's where we are as a society.
I guarantee you Jax doesn't return the shopping cart either. Like, oh my God, that's so classic Jax.
The guy doesn't wear a condom either. He's not going to wipe down a machine. Then I go.
Wait, what did Laura Lee say? What did Lord? Remember Lord?
You've been fucking me without a condom for the
Without
last
a condom.
Oh my God, Sophie, I'm covering that on the Patreon right now. And I got to the finale where Jax walks in the suit and tells Stassi, hey, you were right this whole time. I did cheat on you and get somebody pregnant. And Stassi's like, how could you do this to me?
No,
and
she
like
goes,
everybody.
What have I done to you? What have I done to deserve this?
What have I done to do it? And you guys, it is such gripping television, but it's so sad at the same time because that's 2013. And like, we're probably going to see a very similar scene, my prediction, of the season finale of Vanderpump Rules season 1 on the Vanderpump, the Valley season 2 finale. I'll bet you anything. Jax goes in there and says, it is true. I've been cheating in our relationship for the last year or something like that, because he looks like he's even wearing the same suit in the pictures I saw last night. And I thought, what a weird, wild throwback. And I will say, I want to, we take it very seriously about mental health, and Jax did his podcast because they now swap weeks on when, who gets to do the podcast. He had his life coach on, and he's, everything he's saying checks out. But even in season 1, he's pretty cognizant of certain buzzwords in how you speak about the way your mind works, and even talking about going to a therapist, because he used to go to a therapist, but he literally said this week, he said, I didn't know, I didn't know that I was a narcissist. I never knew. And I'm like, have you not watched any of the show? That's all they call you the entire run of the series, is a narcissist. How would this be the first time that he's ever heard that he's a narcissist?
Isn't that so funny? Like,
it's amazing.
It's actually incredible. Like, we've known for a decade now. Like, everyone who knows you has known for a decade now, but you didn't.
And one of our listeners, Amy, said, listen, I really want to believe in the best for him, and that, like, and I totally agree with that. Like, I want everybody, like, I have my own fucking issues. We all do. Like, I want to believe in all of this, but it's just that we put all of this on video over the last 11 years. And I want to believe in change. I want to believe in this, but like, sometimes you're like, what are the chances that he's really doing the hard work? What are the chances that he's really becoming the man that he wants to be, and not just the man he thinks that we want him to be?
Exactly. He's had a lot of chances. It's like, what now is different that all of a sudden he's going to like actually care? And also the fact that he like admits finally that he's a narcissist. Like, narcissists by definition, like, do not really have empathy, or like they tell you what they think you want to hear. So it's like nothing about him will ever be genuine, but you want to believe that he's actually doing the work. But like, come on.
Well, yeah, I mean, and by the way, I know like we're just sometimes predisposed and like our brains work a certain way. Like,
my brain is sprained.
Yeah, like my brain, you don't understand. When your brain is sprained, you don't walk on it. You don't walk on it if your ankle's sprained. You got to let it heal naturally. Do you go to therapy, Sophie? I think we've talked about
it's actually when I started my new job. I have a different insurance now. My old therapist was covered by my old insurance, so I haven't found that new therapist yet, because it's like a journey to find like a like, and switching therapists is so much work because they know all of your lore. It's like starting over with someone new is so intimidating. But
it's like running through 11 seasons of Vanderpump Rules of your life. You're like, oh, I forgot to tell you about this whole year where I did this whole thing. And like,
exactly. You have to like start over with someone new. Like, oh my God. But basically all of that is to say that therapy is very, very important. And I'm trying actively to get back into therapy with my new insurance.
Well, I finally found one. Like, I've been with her for a second now, and I got to say, it's really hard, but like, it's really been great so far in so many ways. But it also kind of just highlights how messed up you are, or like, how you view yourself. And, you're just looking, and just like, we're just weird creatures. Like, the way we think about things in our head, and then when we say them out loud, they sound ridiculous, but in your head, you've made sense of them. And then you're like, oh yeah, when I say it out loud, that's a little weird, but this is how I thought about things. And it's like really hard as you get older to stop and recognize behavior and then make a good decision, because you're so used to making bad decisions,
Yeah, totally. I mean, like, if you're if you're like asking yourself if you should go to therapy or need therapy, no one like, I mean, yes, some people need it more than others. You could always benefit from therapy. And also, like, who doesn't love just like talking about themselves for an hour?
You sometimes kind of feel a little douchey because you're like, what do you think? How are you doing? Like, and then you're like, well, we're here to talk about. I did the stupidest thing with my therapist. I did the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives interview a couple weeks ago, and I had it in person on a set, and we had to push back the therapy. And I sent her a picture of me on set with the Mormon wives. I'm like, hey, look where, and then I was like, why the fuck did I send it? Like, I was trying to impress my therapist that I was hanging out with the cast of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And I was like, and I told Rebecca, she was like, why the fuck did you send her a picture of you with the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives trying to impress your therapist?
He like thumbs up or like what?
Thank God she didn't heart it, or exclamation it. That would be insane. Okay. So the Valley, obviously we have Scheana, we have Lala. Lala gave birth to baby Sosa a couple weeks ago, but we also had the engagement of Kristen, Doute, and Luke. I didn't get to talk to you when this happened. What did you think?
I'm really happy for them. I'm really happy. Like, I mean, for them. I mean, for Kristen. Like Luke, sure. Like, yeah.
Luke, I mean, I don't see. This is what I've talked with Luke a couple times. He's always been a nice guy. The only thing that like worries me about Luke is that he's kind of friendly with Tom Sandoval, which I just can't wrap my head around. Like, even if Tom Sandoval hadn't done Scandoval, I would still be a little weirded out because, like that's such an incestuous group of friends to get initiated into, It's
not a great look. Not a great look. But yeah, Kristen deserves this. I'm really happy for Kristen. I really am. Like, she deserves her happy ending finally. And yeah, I'm just happy for them. I'm excited for her. I'm excited to like see it play out. And yeah I'm just happy for her. I feel like she deserves it. She had a rough like first season of The Valley, I feel like, and I'm glad that, she's having like a good, happy storyline.
Well, and I think we've talked about this before, but like I have a feeling this is going to be all about girl power and going against Jax because of how people reacted to Vanderpump Rules this past season, saying that Lala and Scheana didn't support Ariana enough. So I have a feeling everybody's going to rally around Brittany, and it's going to be a girl power season. Stassi Schroeder, she's on her new book tour. She has a new book called You Can't Have It All, and which is about her, being a mother and, Stassi's story of being a mother. There's some pretty intense passages in there, and this is a trigger warning. She talks about sending pictures of her, like, one of her cutting scars to Beau, to her husband, back in the day, and that she's really ashamed of that and having to explain that to her kids, which I think is kind of a very brave revelation. And she was just saying of like, even like using something like that against him to make him feel bad, which I thought, really, I mean, because sometimes in relationships, you do really shitty things like that. But it is interesting watching that season 1 of Vanderpump Rules, like you said, with Stassi going, what did I do to deserve this? And the thing is, back then, Jax and Stassi, they were both horrible people. No matter, like, I know Stassi is an icon to so many women, and like what she's become, like, I think that she's had such a cool career. But in that season 1, she was awful. Like, she was texting Laura Lee to go, like, I mean, like the stuff she was like, but people were really looking up to that. So it's been interesting to watch her grow. But she also says in the book, she, was so happy she didn't stick with Vanderpump Rules and stayed away from reality TV. But now that seems to be changing because she's in season 2 of Vanderpump Villa, and she has her own show that's going to premiere on Hulu as well. So I wonder how she's changed her mind on that.
It's so funny because I was one of those like, oh my God, Stassi's my idol. Like, I literally,
everybody was.
Not even that long ago, like 2016, I think, I had like a little like doodle. Like, I would like draw doodles. Like, I was like, what? I was like 24. Like, why was I was like doodling, and I would be like, what would Stassi do? Like WWF. I vividly remember that. It was my apartment that I lived in as a 24-year-old. I was like obsessed with Stassi. And then obviously like not only the racism scandal, but like her comments about the Me Too movement. Like, for years now, I've kind of been soured on her. And I think I told you that I like refollowed her on Instagram recently. I haven't been like engaging or like liking, but like, I don't know. She's so boring to me now. Like, her just Instagram content. I know I'm not her, like, I don't listen to her podcast. I'm not her, like, target audience for her books. It's just funny that I was one of those, like, season 1, like, stans. And now it's like, you're so boring. She's just like,
I think at a certain age,
mom talk, you know?
But see, I think at a certain age, boring is good. That's what you want. Like, if you can make the money she's making and not
being like boring
and not be insane, not having to put yourself in that Vanderpump Rules, like she gets all the benefits from it. I think she's probably still uniquely funny, like all of that stuff. I mean, obviously we all answer for things in our past, which she's had to do. So it's interesting to see where she goes, where any of these reality star goes. But it is interesting how much of a voice, how many women just absolutely love her. Like, who are the people, by the way, as we start winding down, how many people, like, who are the women that you love? That you like, I follow everything they do. I listen to everything they're about. Like, who are those women for you?
Oh my God. There are like a couple influencers that I like love.
Danielle Bernstein.
No,
Avery Woods.
There's this one influencer that I love named Emma Jay, and she's just like a fashion girl who just like moved to Paris part-time, and like, you know, there are more, you guys. There are more women.
But are you like
put me on the spot?
No, but are you like a who am I thinking of? The canceled podcast.
Oh, like Tana and Brooks Schofield or whatever.
Are you one of those people, or the Brianna Chicken Fry?
I love a podcast. It's 2 women that host it. I'm like a religious listener of it, called Ruined. I'm sure I've mentioned it before on here. It's hosted by Hallie Kiefer and Allison Leiby, who are 2 comedians.
So funny.
She's so funny. I love Allison Leiby. I love both of them. But the concept of the podcast is that one of them Hallie loves watching horror movies. Allison is too scared. That's like me. Like, I want to hear what happens. I'll read the Wikipedia page, but like, I don't want to watch it myself. So Hallie will like walk through the plot of a different horror movie every episode. And it's just like hilarious. And like, I love it. I also love the Corporate Gossip podcast hosted by Beverly.
Oh my God, yeah! Shout out, she was on the podcast a little bit ago, and they just celebrated like an anniversary, how 100 episodes or something, and I forgot to repost it.
Yeah.
But shout her out. I want to have her back on. She's great, and she hosted with
that's a
her brother, right?
Female hosted podcast. Wait, I'm trying to find what it was. Oh, 500,000 downloads.
500,000. So congratulations.
Yeah. Becca from Corporate Gossip. It's a great podcast. Yeah. I mean, there are definitely like other like women trainers that I love.
Yeah. No, I'm curious because like, as I get like, and I'm now like addicted to TikTok again, and I get so many podcast clips, and you know, these female podcasts, you know, are so huge, but then also the male, I mean, like obviously the top of the game, we got Nick Vialli, who I know you love, and you've done so many deep dives on, and we'll talk about him at another point. But he's like the place to go if you're in reality show. He's like the male Johnny Carson at this point. So, which is, I know you love. I know you love.
Please, oh my God. Oh,
him and
Dave
Portnoy.
Oh God, I'm just shouting out 2 more women: Dolly Alderton, the author; Lucy Foley, the author. Anything that they write, and it's a different genre than Stassi's books. They're usually fiction, but also Dolly has some nonfiction books too. Those are 2 other women that
I'll shout out Nomi Fry for the New Yorker.
Yes,
I think she's amazing. She actually wrote about the Mormon wives for the New Yorker this past week, and also shouting out Q the Sun, Emily Nussbaum. She was on the podcast. She also writes for the New Yorker and has another book called I Like to Watch. She's won the Pulitzer Prize, and she's just a genius. Emily Nussbaum. Okay. Back to a couple of other things before I let you go. There was a lot.
Oh, by the way, the Bengals lost.
I know. I saw that a while ago.
Wait, you saw it? You didn't tell me.
No, in fact, if you go back like 25 minutes ago, you'll hear me go, oh, and then we just kept going because I didn't want to. And then I was like, oh shit. And only by 1 point. Was it rigged? Was that a Taylor rigged thing?
It makes me want to die. Honestly, 1 point. Like, they were so close.
1 point. So now there's 0 for 2.
I know, but they start every season being 0-2. So whatever.
Okay. You know what? Joe Burrow, still one of the hottest men in the NFL.
Yeah.
In the NFL.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, this week we've got a big week for TV. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 5 premieres, and I've seen the first episode, and it's really weirdly funny. Like there's a whole fight in it about bath bombs between Whitney and Meredith Marks because they both have bath bomb lines, and Meredith accuses Whitney of stealing the bath bomb idea, and it's so inane and ridiculous. Heather Gay looks very different. She got on the Ozempic, and she's done a lot of face work. You got Mary Cosby. You got the introduction of this one new one that like, forgetting her name, but she's just like so high fashion. She's like who Doute wishes she could be, but it's in the shadow still of Reality Von Teese. And it kind of just picks up, and it's really funny. Like it's way funnier than I was expecting it to be after the drama of last season. But you know, I mean, there's always going to be that, what if we could have had Monica back for me?
I'm excited. I'm excited for it. Definitely.
And then Roni comes back in a couple of weeks, so that's going to be there. We should get the Southern Charm preview, I think, in 2 weeks for the new season. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills will be coming back, I think, in January, if not sooner. So there's plenty of TV out there to watch. Summer House has wrapped filming. Lindsay keeps giving us baby updates. Carl has opened his Soft Bar, which is the non-alcoholic bar. Have you gone to this in New York, Sophie?
No, I didn't even realize it opened yet. Like, I guess I need to go.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, the way to shut people up is to actually go do it. So shout out to Carl for that, I guess.
I have Google Maps open, and I just typed in Soft Bar, and what auto-populates is Soft Bar Carl. So they're searching the word Soft Bar Carl.
Soft Bar Carl. That's like soft swinging Carl. So we've got Summer House that will eventually come back. Oh, and then, so did you keep up with Orange County at all, or are you done with that season?
I'm like 2 weeks behind at this point. I'm always like several episodes behind.
Well, the only thing, I just released like a big supersized recap of it, but you guys, John Janssen is still horrible. He did not sign a non-disparagement agreement, and Shannon would have given the $75,000 back. And then he was on Watch What Happens Live because Alexis Bellino was on Thursday night. And like for a guy that's all talking about his reputation, he's sitting in the fucking front row in this leather jacket. He's got a gray scarf. He's got a Christian necklace on. And it's like, he is like 30 rings away from being Johnny Depp. Like, he's like, you know, that Johnny Depp kind of vibe. And he was like, he was kind of scary. Like, if you don't want attention, don't sit in the front row at Watch What Happens Live. Why would you do that?
Isn't that so silly? Yeah. It's like, you have the option to like not be in the front row, not be in the audience at all, actually.
Yes, completely. That is like, the option that you have.
If you want to support your wifey, fiance, like you can support her. You don't have to be in the audience on camera.
No. A couple boob stories. This is Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is actually in this week's episode for the premiere. Meredith Marks revealed that she had a 3rd breast reduction for a weird medical condition that causes her chest to keep growing. Quote, "It's wild." I feel like I have the same condition right now. My breasts keep growing, but she really does have, like, she said she's had 3 operations to lessen her boob load. And then on top of that, Steve-O from Jackass says he is not going forward with his plans to get breast implants for a comedy sketch after talking to a transgender person. He quote, "It's not all fun and games." So he was going to get a breast augmentation. He was going to get like implants as like a bit and have them for a couple of months. And then he talked to a transgender person and changed his mind on it and said it would be disrespectful. So a lot of boob stuff.
Good for you, Steve-O. Good for you.
No, I mean, really good.
Yeah. I mean, good. Like an ally.
Also, by the way, I forgot to tell you, I saw O'Mary on Broadway on Friday night, and a listener, a listener was there and came up to me and said she listens to the Pop Culture Round out of nowhere. It was the coolest thing ever.
Oh my God, that's
said
so
she listens
cute.
to us. I got to tell you, Rebecca was with me, and it was just so awesome. And like, I mean, I almost cried. I was like, "Can I hug you?" Her name's Nay. So, hey, Nay, if you're listening, that was so.
Shout out, Nay.
Shout out, Nay.
Shout out, Nay.
And then
I had one person come up to me once also about listening to me on this podcast. I forgot to mention it was like months ago. And I was like so just caught off guard by being like recognized in public, like I was like, oh my God, I need to like start wearing like a hat or sunglasses.
You're like, give me my space.
And I like didn't know how to react. And I completely forgot to ask her name. And now I'm like, from now on, if that ever happens again, I'm sure it will. Like, I'm sure people like recognize me all the time. Actually, they just like don't say anything. But yeah, always get their names. You can give them a shout out.
No, it was truly an incredible. I was just like, this is so exciting. It was so exciting to be recognized and somebody that actually listens and appreciates what we do. So thank you. Are you going to watch the Emmys tonight?
Yes, I am going to watch the Emmys. And also, oh my God, what was it that I just finished? Oh, that new Nicole Kidman Netflix show called The Perfect Couple. It's really
Is that good? I hear they do like a dance in the beginning of each episode.
It's very silly and like campy, but like, it's like an easy, like brainless watch. And then also the new half of the new season of Emily in Paris. And then also the new Lord of the Rings season, you guys, is so good.
Oh my God. Somebody else commented like, I want to hear Sophie talk about Lord of the Rings more.
It's funny because Henry, my fiance, and I are like, what like would you be in like Middle Earth? He's like, I would be an elf, duh. Like, I genuinely think I would be an orc. You know what an orc is, right?
Of course, yeah, I do. Yeah, I know what an orc is. Of course. A couple other things. Sister Wives comes back on TLC tonight before the 90 days was on. And I'll tell you guys after this, continue on with the show because I'm going to talk about my experience on a cruise or on a boat ride to the Statue of Liberty with the cast of 90 Day Fiancé this past week in New York, which was
insane. My God.
You have Selling Sunset season 8. Did you even bother watching that this time
No.
around?
Oh my God. I haven't yet. It's been like on the bottom of my list. It's on my list, but it's not like high priority right now. But yes. I need to watch it.
Other things, Only Murders in the Building, I recommend this season. And there's a new show on FX called English Teacher with Brian Jordan Alvarez. There are 3 episodes in and it's excellent. It's an excellent sitcom. I highly recommend it. Also, Chimp Crazy, a 3-part series on HBO.
Yeah, I heard good things about that too.
It's insane. Also, Born Evil, which is a multi-part documentary on Max as well. And then I still haven't seen Beetlejuice, but I'm really excited to go see that. So that's pop culture, the little pop culture.
Wait, question. I still haven't watched Only Murders in the Building, but do they always go to like a diner or like a brunch place?
Yeah.
So that's my new favorite. It's like in my new neighborhood. And all I know is that that's apparently one of my friends was like, oh my God, that's where they do Only Murders in the Building. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh, wow. I saw Amy Poehler near where I was staying in New York. I saw Amy Poehler coming out of a building and I was very
Oh my God, did you say hi?
No, I'm not. I get too nervous. No way.
Okay. No. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I asked.
Oh, and also this week, you guys, The Golden Bachelorette starts. And Joan, I love The Golden Bachelor, so watch The Golden Bachelorette.
I think I told you guys that I tapped out of like Bachelorette after like years of watching it just because it's been really bad the past few seasons. But I did hear that Jen's finale was like explosive with Devin, who was her F1, but I guess he ended up being like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, but now it makes me want to watch Jen's season. So like, let me know if you guys
good
watching, or if I can just watch the finale and like feel like I like.
Just watch the finale. Watch the finale. In fact, I had Kay Brown or at K York City on the podcast this week. She hosts The Bachelor with Jared Freed on Betches. And so we talked about that season, but it's crazy because all the drama seems to have happened after the season ended because this guy Devin that she was with, they were like engaged, and then he kind of completely pussed out, was seen with another girl, and then has tried to make like 30 explanation videos of his behavior, and none of them have landed at all. But now Jen is going to be on Dancing with the Stars with Anna Delvey and Ilona Maher and all of those celebrities. So her story will continue, and they're doing Bachelor in Paradise in 2025, which he'll probably go on and try to make amends there as well.
Well, okay. Guess I know what I'm watching tonight. After the Emmys, I guess.
Yeah. Well, wait. Did you make it through all? Wait, also Survivor premieres this week.
Oh, I heard. Yeah.
But you don't watch the current seasons.
No, I don't watch the current seasons. I like took a little hiatus from Survivor. I didn't get fatigue. I just had so many other shows to catch up on that I like needed to give love to. Because they're all my babies, you know?
Sure.
So I took a little hiatus, but now that I'm like pretty much caught up on all the shows that I wanted to like catch up on, I feel like I can dive back into Survivor. And I do my little recaps on Instagram every time I finish a season. And I've had
do you really? I don't think I've ever seen those.
Oh, yes, you have. I have a whole highlight of them on my Instagram. Maybe you just like don't pay attention to my content, which is like
I muted you a long time, like vice versa.
But I've had like real people that know me in real life be like, does anyone like engage with those recaps? Like, do people care about them? And I was like, I don't know, honestly. Like maybe it's pointless. And then when I took my little hiatus, I had like 20 people DM me and be like, I need more recaps. Like it's how I decide what season to watch next. So thank you. Thank you to those 20 people who care.
Yeah, guys, she's got a big month this next month. So just lay off her with these Survivor things. She'll get back to it when she gets back from Japan. It's going to be fine.
No, I'm getting back into it before the wedding. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry.
Never mind. She's going to put more work on herself before then. So you're all safe.
My brain is broken, okay? My brain is
okay, guys. I know this was super silly, but I'm sure we all got something out of it. Have a great rest of your week, but stay tuned. Right after this, I'll tell you about my week in New York and a couple of other things, and come back all week. We got some great guests. Make sure you go listen to last week's episode. We had the announcer, Ian Sterling from Love Island. We had comments by celebs. We had the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So go catch up on old episodes, and thank you guys for all of your support. Go follow Sophie on Instagram, on Twitter. She's always on fire. I mean, she's kind of the number one tweeter, is kind of a big deal there. And that's it, you guys. We will talk to you in a couple of weeks. Bye.
Bye.